Ci troviamo nel porticciolo di Tiberiade.
Today we have come to the small harbour in Tiberias, and from this place we would like to contemplate a very important event in Jesus' life, which Luke describes as the first experience of rejection that Jesus experienced as the Messiah. The event took place in the synagogue of Nazareth, when Jesus returned to the city. He entered as usual, we are told, and he was given the scroll from Isaiah to proclaim. At the end of this proclamation, he said, "Today this word is fulfilled." So the apparent contrast between the proclamation of the word and the today that Jesus proclaimed, referring it to himself as the Messiah, and his belonging to a humble family from Nazareth. Jesus was in fact the son of a well-known carpenter. This created a scandal among the citizens of Nazareth, and Jesus did nothing to soften or dampen down this contrast, but rather went on to say that no prophet is accepted in his own native place. Luke goes on to tell us that the situation went so far as that the people led him to the brow of the hill so that they could hurl him down. One of the examples that Jesus gave and that caused the people to scorn, we can read together from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 4, verse 27. Again, there were many lepers in Israel during the time of Elisha the prophet, yet none of them was cleansed, but only Naaman the Syrian. The story about Naaman the Syrian is found in the second book of Kings, chapter 5. This story is interesting because Naaman, who was a powerful commander in the army, and a stranger as he was not part of the people of Israel, was a leper. At home his wife had a servant who was Jewish, who said to her mistress, "Why doesn't my master go to the prophet in Israel who would cure him of his leprosy?" And so, as he could find no other solution, he took off with a letter of recommendation from the king and a huge amount of riches, 300 kilos of silver and 60 kilos of gold, all this for his healing. He arrived in Israel to the king, but the king did not receive him. His reaction on reading the letter was that it was a provocation. "I am not God with the power to heal." The prophet Elisha heard of this fact and asked that he be sent to him, saying, "So that they will know that there is a God in Israel." So Naaman went to the prophet Elisha and expected that Elisha would welcome him, look at him, examine his marks and sores, and probably touch him. The complete opposite happened. Elisha did not even come out of his house and sent a servant to tell him to go and wash 7 times in the Jordan River. But Naaman was angry and said, "I am a stranger, coming with a huge amount of riches and a letter from the king, and these people do not welcome me as I had thought." And so he left angry. But his servants tried to help him to reason, saying, "If they had asked for your wealth, which you had brought anyway, because you were willing to give it away for your healing, but they asked you to wash 7 times in the Jordan River, even if it is true that there are better rivers at home. However, it remains a word from the prophet." And they convinced him, so he went to wash 7 times in the Jordan River, and he was healed. He returned to Elisha and was prepared to leave all his wealth with him, 300 kilos of silver and 60 kilos of gold. But Elisha did not want any of it. What should we learn from this? That certainly the citizens of Nazareth were waiting for the Messiah, but it was according to their image, to their expectation. God, however, is not only the Creator, but He is also creative. And He works in ways that we do not know, but they are the best ways. We must adapt to Him, and not the opposite. Our prayers are not so that God complies to our will, but that so we comply to His will, so that we enter into full communion with Him. This is the truth. So let's learn to welcome this God who creates and is creative and visits us in a way that He knows, unexpectedly, and who is always new. Let's give Him the place that is due to Him in our lives. Only in this way can we get rid of the biggest leprosy in our lives, that is doubt, which is a leprosy. May the Lord heal us, and we will become like Naaman, and the true meaning of his name, which is sweet and lovable. When we trust in God, we become sweet and lovable, with the others too. This is my prayer for us all. Until the next time from the harbour in Tiberias.